Karen demanded I clean spilled ice cream, by user attitude Lord. I'm an electrician, I was working in a grocery store replacing all 1956 flowers scent light bulbs with LED bulbs. I was packing a cart of old bulbs to the back to dispose of them, and as I walked I heard, "Hey you." I ignored it till I heard it again. I turned to look around and heard her say, "Yeah you." And the Karen stormed up to me. "Pick that up," she demanded while pointing at an ice cream container broken on the ground, her voice full of entitlement. "I don't work here," I said, thinking that would explain everything. "Well then, what are you doing here?" she demanded, irritated that I dared to contradict her. "I'm changing light bulbs," I said, wondering what her problem was. She grabbed my shoulder and brought her face an inch from mine and growled, "That means you work here, so clean it up." I then realized that I was dealing with a crazy person, so I just said okay to make her leave me alone. An actual worker at the store saw the whole thing and waved me off and cleaned it, while I went on with my day. The whole experience was weird. "I'm not your maid, by user and wench. We are staying at a hotel visiting family for the holiday weekend." I was going to surprise the hubby by bringing him a cup of coffee to wake him up, but when I walked in the room, I tripped on the dog and spilled it. I grabbed a few hand towels, cleaned the mess, rinsed them out, and walked out the door to find housekeeping. As soon as I closed my room door, the lady across the hall opened hers and started telling me what she needed for her room cleaning. I looked at her and interrupted. I'm staying here just like you. I'm not the maid," she replied, "but you're holding hand towels." I told that yes I am, but that's because I too am looking for housekeeping. She stopped for a moment and pondered my words, and then we both started laughing. She excused herself and told me she was in town for a funeral and wasn't all together because of that. I expressed my condolences and told her to wait there and went and got housekeeping for both of us. So not as horrible as some I read and Reddit, but holiday fun nonetheless. Edit forgot to mention I was still in my pajamas and definitely not wearing a housekeeping uniform. "You're on the floor, you must work here, by user you smokes bitches. Woke up to 4 sick kids. So, I do as any responsible parent and keep them home from school and give ole worky poo a heads up I won't be coming in. Now, I know that calling in on a Monday after the holiday weekend a huge no-no, so I'm already stressed, you know? But they can suck it, cause I'll do whatever is in the best interest of my children." Which lead me to going to the store. I started to feel ill and wanted to get to Kroger before it all hit me. My wife stayed back with the kids, as she wasn't feeling well either. So, I run to the store. I grab some popsicles, Gatorade, ECT for some feverish kids. Then, I head over to medication area to get some chest rub and those shower crystals to help you breathe in the shower. Some lady is in front of me the whole way there. She is knocking stuff off the shelves and then stopping everyone, because you can't get around her, while she picks it up. And the whole time she's mumbling to herself about how people will just have to wait and she's sorry but it's just how it is yada yada yada. I decide to go the opposite way around the store to avoid her. I found what I needed on the bottom shelf. I'm really tall. I don't like to bend all the way down there. I take a knee. I'm looking and comparing prices when I hear "where is." I ignore it as background noise, but then this lady, the same one inconveniencing everyone from earlier, gets right up close to me. And then she has the audacity to say, "You're on the floor, you must work here." "Where is, blah blah blah" is all I heard after that. So, I grabbed the things I wanted and she asked again, "Do you know where?" And I stood up, looked her dead in the eyes and as firm as possible without being rude said no. I didn't offer any follow-up after my one-word answer. I thought that should have been efficient to get the point across. But it wasn't enough for this lady. She went on to insist I work there and should know where the thing is. That's when I turned on aggravated beyond all recognition parenting mode. And I realized, at this point, this lady would just not get it. So I leaned down and I looked her in the eyes again and said, "What makes you think I work here? Do I have a name tag? Do I have a uniform? Did I answer your questions and offer any help?" And she says she didn't mean to insult me. So I told her she's very insulting, and I don't even work here. Imagine how insulted the actual employees would feel to be approached like that. And then I walked away. Edit, I have gotten some good feedback. However, I have decided I'm going to take a new approach to this kind of situation. Next time, I'm going to tell them they should know where it is because they manage the place. Then, I'll proceed to bitch about another imaginary employee. And I might just ask them for a raise for always going above and beyond. Then maybe, just maybe, if I see an unhappy customer, I'll direct them to the manager I just appointed, to make any complaints. Well, I say you work here, so therefore you work here, by IDontWorkHereLady. This took place last week when I was schmoozing about at my local books a million. I'm a manga junkie that reads most of my manga online. I was just looking at what they had, jotting down the titles, and all of a sudden, I hear this crash behind the shelf in front of me. I go up to look and see this guy had accidentally knocked over some of the action figures they had there. I gave him a hand on cleaning it up, and we went about our business, but then, everything changed when the Karen attacked. Okay, not really attacked, but you get the picture. She calls out to me and I looked back and see her. She motions for me to come over, and I just shake my head and go about my business. I think it's over, but then she comes up to me. "K, how dare you ignore me? Is that any way to treat a customer?" "Me, hat? K, don't you hat me. I saw you help that guy back there, so now that you're done with him, you can help me." Me, immediately putting two and two together. "Oh, that? It's called being nice. Considering how you're talking to me, clearly you need to try it out." K, wow, really? You really have no sense of customer service. Me, lady, do I even look like I work here? K, no, but you clearly do. So stop screwing aroo. Me, cutting her off. "No, lady. I don't work here. I even tried applying for a job here and they ain't hirin'." K, yeah, well, well, I say you work here, so therefore you work here. Me, wow, you're just fishing for a reason to be right, hey, Karen? Oh, that just set her off. K, what did you just call me? Me, I called you what you are. A Karen. At this point, an employee comes up to see what the deal is. E, what's going on here? K, your coworker here is being extremely rude to me. E, ma'am, he doesn't. K, don't you dare cover for him. I know he works here. He helped some clumsy loser earlier. E, ma'am, can I finish what? K, no, you cannot finish what you're saying. The only thing I wanna hear out of that mouth is a yes ma'am. E, I'm gonna get the manager. Karen smirks at me, thinking she's won. Me, I'd wipe that smirk off your face, Karen. Chances are it's gonna be you who gets to boot. K, first off, call me that again, see what happens. Secondly, they won't kick me out. At this point, the manager and employee both come up, and the manager asks what's going on. Karen, of course, tells the manager what she told the employee, how I'm being rude, and says the employee tried to cover for me saying I don't work there. Yeah, because he doesn't. He's not even in uniform. K, doesn't have to be. I say he works here, so that means he does. Are you the manager? K, what? No. Then you don't get to say he works here. K, well, you're the manager, so that means you need to fire him. What did I just say? K, I don't give a flying fuck what you said. I say he works here, and you are going to fire him right this goddamn minute. She screamed that so loud that I'm sure the petland across the lot heard it. It sure did catch the attention of everyone else that was there, and even a baby started crying, the poor thing. The manager had enough of her and told her to leave, which she would, of course, refuse. But, once he threatened to call the police, she went pale. K, no, you can't call them. Leave, and I won't. K, oh come on. Can't you just let me have this one thing? No, I will not let you have this. He does not work here, and you need to understand that and leave right now before I call 911. K, lets out an exasperated sigh. All right, I'll go. You don't even have the book I want anyway. And off she goes, into the sunset, Karening at another poor establishment. I know this might seem fake to some people, but in this day and age, people are just this crazy and entitled and crazy, so I say believe what you want. My husband really loves his job, by user musical solds. My husband and I were recently in the big city for a visit with friends and family, but mostly for a work function for me. I'm WFH and we were having a work party I wanted to attend. While we were there, my husband requested we visit a few of the other locations in his chain of stores as he is always curious how other managers do things differently to bring back to his own store. We went into one downtown and it was bumping. He chatted a little bit with the staff but was mostly preoccupied looking at their selection of wares to see if there were any cool items they carried at their location that he didn't at his lower volume store. While browsing, he noticed a woman trying to grab an item from one of the higher shelves and offered to get it down for her. Once in his hand, he noticed it had a customization on it and pointed it out to the customer and mentioned it would cost a little bit more. Customer did not want the customization and so he started flipping through the shelf to find one without. After handing it to her, she proceeded to start asking him about other items, which was when I walked over, gave him a smack, and playfully said, "You are so silly, you don't even work here." The customer was so embarrassed and apologized, assuming he worked there because he was dressed so similarly to the other staff. No dress code, but it's a sports store so staff typically wear jerseys and he happened to be wearing one that day, and because he so quickly and cheerfully helped her. My husband did also apologize, saying, "I do sort of work here. I work for the company, just that the store in our hometown, and since all the guys here seemed busy I thought I could at the very least be a nice person and help grab this for you since I'm taller." In the end we all had a good laugh, and my husband keeps insisting he didn't mean to go into retail mode while we ourselves were shopping, it's simply because he loves his job so much.